Okay, there we go. Anyways, okay, so we're just 12 right now. So we'll just chit chat for a couple more minutes. Callie, am I going to see you at Desert Connect? Are we coming? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
Some of you
yeah.
guys, Daryl, are you coming at all to, oops, I got 3 people in the waiting room. Sorry, I got to get them in. John, Mr. Caruso. There we go. I think, oh, more. Mr. Bindell. Mr. Bindell, can I make you, I am going to make Justin and, okay. Christian, how do I make you, oh, I think I know how to do this.
You probably click the 3 dots in my square and then maybe.
Oh, those 3 dots in your square. I want to make Christopher is our fearless leader here. Or Christian, sorry.
No worries. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good. Great, thanks.
Hold on. I got it. Sorry. Okay. Are we about to ready to rock and roll? There. Okay. Christian, you are the co-host now, so you can let people in.
Great.
Great. So everybody, as you know, I'm a bit of an AI freak, a freak magnet for AI. I love the stuff. Anything that can save me time in that I don't, it's 75. I don't have a lot of time left, so I might as well take advantage of it all. Anyways, so I was introduced a few weeks back to through somebody who teaches AI, a friend of ours who teaches AI, Rick Jansen, who is EXP, but we still love him. Anyways, he introduced me to Mr. Lafleur, who has some great things to tell us. So, Mark, if you want to give us, you just start ahead. I will leave you. I've given you access to the screen if you want, but also tell us a little about yourself and tell us about what you're doing.
For sure. So look, hey, I appreciate the intro. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a talker. So I like to just go on. I can go on a bunch of tangents, but I definitely respect your guys' time. And I appreciate that you're here. And really what I want to dive into today is to kind of give you like a really like quick and dirty tactical example of how you can use AI. That's actually practical. That's going to add value and just kind of like a way in which you can use it. Because I think a lot of people are confused right now around AI. So first of all, I already love you guys most groups because all of your cameras are on, so I can actually like see people that I'm talking to. I love to have a conversation. Okay, so please interrupt me, jump in, anything you guys want. I'm happy to dive in. What we're gonna focus on is I'm gonna show you how you guys can use AI to create social media content in a really quick and easy way. Whether that's what you're excited about with AI or not, at least this is going to show you what's possible with AI. And I think just before getting started on the quick introduction route, like I'm a huge believer that you should know who's talking to you, because if you've taken your time to be here, it's their job to, earn your respect and your time. So I always just kind of love to give a quick background, if not for anything more, just to give you a reason as to why you might be wanting to listen to me here talk today. So as Richard mentioned, we recently got connected. I've been in the AI space for about 2 years now, essentially since the Chat GPT and OpenAI released their API, which lets people build AI products. But in a previous life, in 2015, I started a company out here in Canada called True Local. And True Local, for those of you that are in the US, you're probably familiar with the business model. You've got your meal kits like HelloFresh and Blue Apron and all that. More specifically, you guys have the ones that focus just on meat. So companies like ButcherBox, we did that, but in Canada. And over the course of 5 years, we did Dragon's Den, which is essentially your guys' equivalent of Shark Tank. We built the company to about $20 million over the course of 5 years. And then exactly 5 years from the day that we started the company, we were acquired. Huge win across the board. Like I was a kid who had holes in my shoes. We were on the cover of the Globe and Mail, which is kind of similar to your guys' sort of Fast 50 sort of publications out in the US for being Canada's 14th fastest growing company. And after that ended up being acquired, I was on a 2-year contract. So for those of you that don't know, you sell your company, it's a sweet big win, awesome. But there's usually a period in which you have to oversee to make sure the company is still running well. So during that time, I had to oversee our new CEO, which was actually our old COO. So it made it really, really easy. So pretty much I was chilling for 2 years and I got this opportunity to write a book. So I got a book deal with Forbes and I wrote a book called True Founder, which is essentially it's kind of like a, once again, quick and dirty representation of what it's like to actually start a company. I think so many people love to be these business influencers and go online and say, you have to focus on work-life balance. And if things are hard, it's not your fault, it's society. And that's just like total bullshit. You know, if you're a founder or an entrepreneur, which all of you here are as real estate agents, you realize that, you know, nothing's easy. Nothing's supposed to be easy. It's just kind of how you react to it. So that's sort of where my path took me during that 2-year period. One True Local sold. However, my dream is always to get back into tech. And one of the things that I realized was it's cool to build something for 5 years, but what can you build for 10 years? And that's kind of where my next sort of passion took me. And I knew that I wanted to get out and do something with some sort of technology that I believed was going to kind of carry the future. So of course, my contract ended December 2022. For those of you that were following, ChatGPT came out November 2022 and literally blew my mind. It was just one of these things that like it became very apparent to me that as a founder and an entrepreneur, I get bogged down in mediocre tasks and menial tasks all the time. Like you want to move mountains, but unfortunately to move mountains, you've got to, you know, triple check the copy on your ads. You've got to cross your T's and dot your I's. You've got to organize your files. You've got to, you know, create post after post after post. You've got to do all of these things. You know, you've got to read the resumes. You've got to do all that type of stuff. And it became very apparent to me that AI was going to help with a lot of this. So essentially my next business, so at the time, I decided to go all in on AI. In March 2023, they released the API, which, not to bore you guys, but long story short, it just meant that you could actually build products using AI. So this isn't like just going in there and creating prompts and like messing around with GPTs. No, like you could actually build your own website and then connect OpenAI's AI into it. So you could do these really, really cool things. And we did a bunch of different projects. So we were doing everything from finance. We did a tool that would assess investment opportunities for venture capital firms. We did education. So working on individualized education, pretty much like at-home tutors that would be very specific to an individual child's learning abilities. And what we saw though was this huge influx of people from the real estate space that were really interested in what was going on with AI. So, you know, about a year into it, we built all these different AI products and we started seeing this big push for real estate agents. And we just realized, okay, there's something here. I talk about this all the time. I think that the real estate industry is going to benefit disproportionately from AI. And the reason for that is that real estate, when it comes to marketing, usually has fallen behind. It's just the fact of life. You know, when it comes to best practices in marketing, you've got, you know, every industry, healthcare, e-commerce, software, enterprise, they all use the best practices that are out there. But real estate has always been a little bit apprehensive to take up this new technology. And I do this whole talk about how it's an intimidation factor. New technology tends to be intimidating. But the thing with AI is that it's not intimidating at all because really you're just interacting with a chat bar. You don't have to know how to use these things. People are always freaking out. How do I use AI? You don't have to do that. You just have to go in there and know how to talk to it. So I've been doing that for a little while now. And then the product that we saw that we could fix a really big problem for was that there are a lot of big players looking to do the everything AI for real estate. We don't want to touch that, but we saw a very specific niche problem that AI could help with, which was social media. Agents struggle with social media. So we decided to come in here and build a tool for that. And that was realestatecontent.ai. And that's actually what brought me to Richard. So essentially, I'll get into that. Obviously, that's kind of the whole sort of idea here that I want to show you guys. But I do have some thoughts on AI that I think are really important. I do AI keynotes. I've done 4 this year for various brokerages and just kind of just different speaking points and trying to kind of talk about the way I see AI going, seeing as we're building a lot of products with it. And right now, like in November 2024, I think the biggest issue that's happening is that people are thinking that AI is going to do all of their work for them. You know, you show an agent how to use ChatGPT properly, and if it says one word they don't like, they're like, oh, this is shit. You know, I don't want to use it anymore. And they either are intimidated and go away, or they just think it's stupid. And I think that's the complete wrong mindset to have for a few reasons. Number one, if we went back to like 5 years ago and I told you that you could do a fraction of your work, like even once again, like use this example, 20% of your work, could it be done for you? You'd probably pay thousands of dollars for it. But when it comes to AI, people expect it to do all of your work. So that's the number one mindset you got to get out of. AI is not about doing all of your work. It's about taking the crappiest tasks, the things that you don't want to be doing, the things that take up the most time, and offloading those to AI. That's a great way to get started. And as any busy person actually knows, if I tell a busy person that I can get you 20% of your time back, that is invaluable. Tell a person who is pretending to be busy that you'll give them 20% of their time back and they don't care because they don't actually know the value of 20% of the time. So that's the one thing. Today, I could talk about AI forever, and I'm happy to connect with any of you after if you just want to geek out and go a little bit deeper on where AI is going. But today, I want to focus on social media and AI. So from there, but with that being said, I wanted to just kind of give you a thought and something to think about because I do think it's important that people just get this better understanding of what you should be looking to do with AI. So once again, try to find the things that you hate the most and offload 20% of that. That does act as a really good segue though into social media. So I'm assuming here everybody's, taking a stab at social media. Does anybody here feel like they're like really, really good at social media? Kind of getting it sorted. Okay, I see the chat.
Guys, if you want, you can take your, feel free to take your mics or put your mics on and chat. Don't
No,
worry about it. Go
I
right
am
ahead.
not. I'm Sue Toyne from Toronto. This
Nope.
is great. Thank you. And no, I'm not good at social media.
Okay. So this is why I figured when it comes to AI, social media, and real estate is like the best example of how you can use AI because it's something that AI is really, really, really good at. And it's something that agents are typically really, really, really bad at. And it's also something that is a huge time sink. Okay. So I'm going to break this down a little bit and give you guys just kind of like a high level view and sort of the landscape on social media. And then I'm going to show you guys literally what we built, how we built it, and why it's going to save you guys a ton of time if you guys are looking to get your social media game going. So first of all, to understand social media, you got to set the landscape. Okay. And I think there's a lot of misinformation here when it comes to what you need to do to be a real estate agent on social media. The first thing to understand is that you do not need to be an influencer to be an agent on social media. I think right off the bat, when people think about social media, in real estate, they think that they should go and look at their favorite influencer and copy that style of content. If you don't plan on going all in on social media, which I mean spending a crap ton of money, spending a whole lot of time, and being on camera every day, then you shouldn't try to put yourself in the I'm going to be like my favorite social media influencer bucket. Okay. And that seems to be sort of like the black and white of it. You're either not on social media or you're all in being an influencer. And that's not the case at all. Okay. There's a ton of value that can come from going all in on social media. There's a ton of value that can come from spending a lot of money on social media. However, it might just not be for a lot of people. It's a huge commitment. And if you're kind of like me, I'm on social media because I know I have to be. There's no other way around it, but I hate being on camera. Like I hate doing that. You're never going to catch me dead doing any TikTok dances, that's for sure. But even just like being on camera, talking about what I want to talk about, it's just cringy to me. Nothing against the people that do it. I wish I had that sort of just ability to be on camera, but to me, it takes a lot. So we look at social media as a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. When you look at your 6 to 10s, that's the influencers. Okay. And these are people that are comfortable with being on camera. They are posting almost 3 times a day, whether it's through multiple platforms or on the same platform. They're spending probably about $5,000 a month, and they have videos, they have editor, they've got their videographers, they've got photographers, they've got editors, they've got all that stuff. Okay. Now, once again, nothing wrong with that, and you can generate a lot of money from it. However, that's a very small percent of the population when it comes to agents. When you look at the majority of agents are 1s to 4s. Okay. And what I mean by that is the majority of agents are in this category of social media where they know it's important, but they don't know what to do. They're posting, a couple times a month. It's all over the place. It's, there's no real strategy there. And every time you make that one post, that's usually horrible. You get no engagement on it. So you're then even more demotivated to do it the next time. And a lot of agents get stuck in this trap. Okay. That's the majority. I would say, like, honestly, anecdotally, just from people that you talk to, it's like 80% of the population. If you get 10 people in a room, 8 of them are in this 1 to 4 category. So what we realized, just having some experience on social media and working with influencers at True Local, we had our influencer program. So obviously we would work with influencers to promote the product. We were onboarding 80 to 100 a month. Like it was a full on system. We were spending $200,000 a month just on marketing on that side of things. So we kind of had a good understanding of how it was working with social media. And when you look at social media in 2024, as an agent, this is the one thing you should know is that 5 is where everybody should be before and just real quick, I'll get into the question right after this. So 5 is where everybody should be to not fall behind. If you're a 1 to 4 right now, you are falling behind. And what that looks like is you are at risk of somebody who could be young, could be old, it doesn't matter, but that has significantly less experience than you, somebody who should not be taking your lead, somebody who you are much more qualified than, but they're on social media, they're a 5 and up, and they are going to start taking your leads. They're going to start taking people from you. And once again, even if you don't believe in social media as a way to get leads or a primary marketing channel, you must understand that you will lose leads though if you do not have a social media presence. So that's what our argument is. So if you've got your 1s to 4s, you've got your 5s, and then you've got your 6 to 10s, every agent has to be a 5 just to stay afloat. And that idea is that you're not focusing on being an influencer, but you're focused on your presence. You just want to have a presence on social media. You want to be active. You want to be present. You're not making viral posts. You're not an influencer. But when someone is referred to you or somebody's looking you up online, you can be damn well sure they are going to be looking at your social media, and you don't want them to go and not see anything. You don't want them to go and see that you only post once a week and it's completely unrelated, because then I'm thinking, listen, I might not like social media, but I know social media is important. If you can't even market yourself on the universal platform, we all know that social media, let's just say Instagram and Facebook, is relevant. If you aren't even there relevantly, like, why do I think that you're going to have the skill set to sell my home? And that's unfortunate because a lot of agents do have it, right? Like a lot of agents, because they're not on social media, they can crush it. They've got networks they've built up for 20 plus years, but social media will make you lose to the kid who's posting being like, here's what $5,000 gets you in Sarasota. And the thing has 100,000 views. So our whole goal is to make sure that every single agent is at minimum of 5, so you're not falling behind on social media. So real quick, Todd, so can we aggregate from published blogs posts with this program? So you can create your own unique blogs, actually. So this will actually create blogs for you, and I'll get into that in a moment and kind of show you how you can post that. And I'll kind of keep going and then kind of answer questions as we're going there. So here's the thing. To be a 5, essentially, instead of focusing on followers and views, which are not the metrics you should be going after as a real estate agent, you're focusing on credibility, professionalism, and conversations. That's what a 5 does, okay? Influencers are focused on followers and views. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. It's just that is their actual metric of success. They've already got all of this other stuff, the credibility, the professionalism, the conversations. They're now focusing on followers and views. If you're a 5 though, and you're winning as a 5, you're focusing on credibility, credible, professional, and conversations, okay? Now here's the problem. Being a 5 is still posting once a day. And if any of you here have worked with social media agencies, freelancers, anything like that, you understand that that's probably still like a $300 to $500 a month freelancer or commitment or agency. And from what we've seen, the posts aren't really that good either. You're kind of getting like, just some average stuff going out the door, but it's being done for you. This is where AI can shine really, really well. So the reason that we started looking at this problem was that, once again, there's these very clear buckets. We're like, how can AI provide a solution to these 1s to 4s? Agents that, once again, the 80% of agents that don't want to be influencers, but they want to have a social presence. They want to make sure they're relevant, and they want to make sure that they're not losing leads. Well, that's where we came in. So essentially, the realestatecontent.ai tool is a AI tool that is like 100% focused on doing your social media for you. And it'll overnight take you from a 1 to a 4 and immediately making you to a 5. So that does a bunch of different things. Number one, it makes it so you no longer have to think about it, which is fantastic. So once again, this idea that don't look for AI to do all of your work, look for AI to do 20% of the work you don't want to do. You can set this entire thing on autopilot and you'll immediately be a 5. The goal is not to go viral. The goal is not to get you a ton of followers. The goal is to give you credible, professional, and conversation starting content. And the nice thing about that is that once you use AI to get you to a 5, you can absolutely jump into a 6 or a 7 from there. You can use that as a building point, a platform to start building up what's next. Rather than trying to go from like a 2 to a 7, It's great to be at a 5 and then decide if you want to go a little bit deeper on it. So what I'll do is I'll literally show you how all this works and literally how simple it is. And once again, the whole point here is just kind of show you guys what's possible and how AI is really, really good at doing this exact type of thing, which is making these things that you don't want to do really, really easy, and social media being one of the most important ones. So for those of you here, are you guys familiar with ChatGPT? Okay, perfect.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah. So most people are familiar with ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. It's fantastic. But one thing that you find in real estate very often is that there aren't very many tools that are built specifically for the real estate industry and specifically for real estate agents. And essentially what we saw with ChatGPT, it's amazing, but you do require a little bit of prompting skills. Let's say you're doing basic level prompting, the most basic. You just kind of have this conversation with it. You got to kind of tweak it. You got to kind of go back and forth with it. Let's say you're a little bit more advanced and you're building GPTs. So it's a little bit easier. You know, you can kind of ask it to do the specific, you know, write your caption, you know, give you a content calendar, give you topics. But then you still got to take that and do something with it. And then of course, this idea of it's not connected to anything, right? So you can use ChatGPT to create your content, but you still got to then copy that, bring it over to Canva, make it into a design, and then go ahead and actually connect it to your social media accounts, or vice versa. You're doing something like one of those content banks where you're paying, you know, $100 a month and you get access to like 1,000 different templates that are all just kind of being shared amongst the same agents. And then either you've got to change the text or it's the same as everybody else's. If someone just sat down and was like, hey, listen, how do we solve this problem for agents with AI? There's a way better way to do it. And this is essentially what we've built. So with ChatGPT, you got to go in there and tell it who you are every single time. Here, you only do it once. Okay. So what you would do is just come in here, say the name of your team, your brokerage, whatever you want to represent yourself as. Okay. You would tell it which area you're servicing. So just for example, I'm going to use Toronto, Canada. Here it says, what services are you offering to your clients? So just in detail, explain what you do. So our services are helping people buy and sell homes. We focus on giving them a personalized experience tailored to their needs, so on and so forth. Then what they'll do is, because you want your content to be specific to you, so once again, it's not like you're sharing content with all the same agents, you can go in here and just give an idea of what your client is, who your client is, what your niche is, what makes you special. So in this example, I'm just going to use retirees. I like using retirees because it's very specific. You know, you can really see how the content will shift towards a retiree. But essentially, I'm just saying we focus on helping retirees find their forever home. And then finally, you can write your bio in here. You don't have to do this, but obviously, if you like your content being more personalized, this is where you'll put it in. So I just took my profile from LinkedIn, but you can just take your bio from anywhere really and just throw it in here. And what you're going to do is you're going to do that once and you're done. So you've got it. It's completely taken care of. And essentially now you're in a situation where you have access to this content calendar. Okay. So for anybody here who is like, okay, I want to get my social media taken care of. I hate organizing it. I hate dealing with it. This is all you're ever going to need. This content calendar is connected directly to your social media accounts. So you can connect these to your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, TikTok. You can connect it to all the things that you want to connect it to. Okay. And I'll give you an example here. The first thing when it comes to creating content is people always say, oh, use ChatGPT to give me topics. Okay. Well, it's better if it's built in. So literally you can come here and it's going to take the information you just put in and give you specific topics that are relevant to who you are and your niche. So tips for retirees on navigating the home buying process for Toronto, how to find grocery stores and essential services near your new home in Toronto, a simple guide to retirees to sell their home in Toronto smoothly, how retirees can find the perfect home near necessities like healthcare and groceries. So you've got all these different topics that you can choose from. Now, of course, you can write in your own topic. So if you have your own topics you want to choose from, but once again, oh, can you guys not see my screen?
Should be able to.
Anna?
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
I can
you
see
can?
it.
We can, yeah. Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So the majority of people here can see the screen. Anna, just type in again if there's an issue, but I think we're good on the screen share here. So I'll keep going for now, but just hit me up if you can see it. So long story short, going back into it, come up with your own topic. But if you struggle with coming up with topics, you can just come in here and literally just go ahead and choose this topic and then go and click generate. So when you click generate, what's going to ask you to do is choose what days you want to generate your content for. So to give you an example, I'll literally just go ahead and click up here. It says the next 7 days. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and click Instagram, but you can see we got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. You've got your bio here as well in case you want to tweak something. Maybe, you know, for this post, you want to talk more about your family. Maybe for this post, you want to talk more about your career. Maybe for this post, you want to talk more about your, I don't know, aspirations and hobbies, whatever. But your bio is here that you can go in and change it if you'd like to. So what I'll do is I'll click generate. And what you're going to see here is this is literally coming up with your social media posts. So the thing to consider, a lot of things, is number one, this is taking your overall theme. So tips for retirees and navigating the home buying process. And it's breaking it down into subtopics for your posts. So that way, every single post is different. Every single post is unique to you. This is not being recycled. This is not from a content bank. All of these posts are being generated with AI, and they're all relating back to this initial theme. So if you want to do posts for 2 days, 3 days, it doesn't matter. However many days you do your posts for, each of the posts will be different and they'll be individual. Okay. So that's kind of number one. So here you can see on the side here, it's really simple. Why buying a home in Toronto could be easier than you think. How Toronto's neighborhoods make perfect homes for retirees. Simple steps to afford your dream house on a retirement budget. As you can see, it's breaking these down very specific. And look, with social media, when you're trying to be a 5, it's all about just being relevant to your niche. So that's the most important part. Like, people want to go to your page and see, oh, this is an interesting fact I didn't think of. This is something that's answering a question that I might be having. And this does an amazing job to do that. So,
Mark,
here, fun.
Can I interrupt and ask a question about this? So, because this is where my problem is that I've hired other social media people and they don't have my voice. So how is the AI pulling from my niche, is it just using my SEOs from like my past posts? Is it like, how does it get specific to me?
Yeah, so this is a much longer conversation. But I'll tell you. So
Or
actually,
does
let me
it?
give
Is
you the
it
quick
specific
answer.
to
So
me?
your bio, this is where you can come in here and make it sound however you need to make it sound. This is a little bit of prompting here, and I'll work with you one-on-one if you decided that you're like, this is a good fit for me. But when you come and put your bio in here, this is really what it's pulling from. So it's pulling from all the information you put in here. So if you want to put in sort of just like your bio, but then you want to put in your writing style, and then you want to put in sort of examples and how you want to speak, it will take all of that into account. So that's the number one thing to consider. Now, the second thing I'll tell you on a quick little mark, and I'm happy to chat with you and give you thoughts on this. We've done sales emails for a while. This is unrelated to this. And the reality is you don't actually typically want it to sound like you. What you want it to sound like is some, not famous person, but like you want your stuff to sound like Gary Vee, or you want it to sound like Oprah, or you want it to sound like whoever. And there's a template of an individual that you want it to sound like more than you want it to sound like yourself traditionally. The reason I say sales is because we see people be like, oh, it doesn't sound like me in the sales email. Okay, well, your open rate is 30%. This open rate over here, it doesn't sound exactly like you, has been 45%. So what do you want it to actually be? Do you want it to be fantastic, or do you want it to sound like you? You can make it do both, but it's just understanding. And I find people, they flirt with the line. They'll tell ChatGPT, I want it to sound like me, but I needed to do these other 5-6 things. So anyway, it's a long-winded way of just saying, you can get it to sound like you. You can get it to talk sort of from the perspective that you want it to talk from, just by going in and tweaking the bio. So once again, let me go into this. How would you use this as a team? Luke, I will dive right in. So John, here's the next step. So all these posts, by the way, once again, these are full-on posts. Like, these are ready to go. These are connected to your Instagram account. You can approve these. And essentially what you can do is you can come in here and see and customize them essentially however you want. So pretty much it generated you the posts. Not only did it give you a caption. So let me go back here. It gave you your caption. Oops. So it gave you your caption. And essentially you can edit that however you want, right? As you can see here, it's mentioning True Local. So it's going through my bio and pulling some stuff that makes it relevant. And it's giving me my caption. Of course, you can come in here and edit that. Okay. However, it's also giving you a carousel. Okay. So this carousel has been built based off of the post. It's all done via AI, and it's been done here for you. So if you go to edit this, because maybe you're like, oh, this is cool, I like it, but like, I want to switch up the background. I want it to be this. I want it to be, something different. I want it to be like just some graphics, some elements. I want this instead. I want this instead. You can do it however you want. Reels, yes, it does Reels. So if you come here and click, you'll see it actually gives you your reel. Now, the thing with Reels, as well we know, is that when it comes to a reel, you want a hook. You don't actually want a full-on written caption. So we've actually automatically done that for you. So if you're choosing a carousel, once again, you're just coming in here and you're like, oh, it's a carousel. Great, fantastic. You've got kind of all these individual slides. We've already gone ahead. And if you do decide to choose a reel, it's swapped that text to be a hook instead. So just something to consider, right? So once again, as your carousel, you see here, you've got, is Toronto your retirement dream home? It's kind of like incentivizing you to, kind of keep going through all the facts. These are kind of the main bullet points, right? However, if you go to the hook, you'll see retirement in Toronto sounds exciting, but there's one thing you need to know to make it perfect. Read caption. Those work amazing. Those are really good. Of course, you can change your audio. You can do all that fun stuff. So that's something to consider. So the way I always like to look at this is choose your own adventure. This product is $99 a month. So just to be clear, when you work with social media agencies and stuff, like you're paying multiple hundreds of dollars to get, if not the exact same type of content that this is, it might even be a step down because the content isn't as tailored towards a specific niche. However, choose what you want. Are you looking to be like a 1 to 4 and you just want to automatically get to a 5? Because if that's the case, you can just start generating stuff and it's good to go. You can do a quick little glance at it, make sure it's the way you want, switch up the templates a little bit for some variety if you want to make sure it makes sense, and you're good to go. But you don't have to. You could just post this as is. Now, we always recommend coming in here, like, freshen it up a bit. You can do a lot of different things with it. So, if you come in here and you go to your colors, you can change the color palettes. Oops, let me go back here real quick. I'll give it better.
Mark, while you're doing that, you're talking to Sotheby's International Canada, so I presume you respectfully quoted that in Canadian dollars, right?
It's not Canadian dollars, unfortunately. It's US dollars.
And hey, I'm in Los Angeles, man.
Yeah. So
okay. Fair enough, Emily.
Hi, Todd.
We're all over.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's USD. The way I like to put it is, to be honest, I don't think I'm being biased when I say this. This is worth like well over $500 a month. Agents are literally paying social media managers to do this for them, and they get 3 posts a week, and they're not that great. We price this because one of the biggest things with technology that drives me crazy, I'm not a real estate person, I'm a startup kid, right? So I always look at when new technology comes out, the purpose of new technology is to improve the outcome. So improve the tech, make things better, and reduce the cost. That's the point. It's not supposed to be make things better, make it more expensive. So that's why it's $99. So that's, we're pretty proud of that price, to be honest. So with that being said, I do have a deal for you today, Todd. So if you stick around, I will make it a little bit more worth your while. So
yeah, spoil us, Canadians. Like the par, there's no par here.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you. So one of the nice things, once again, coming in here is that you can just switch around the color palettes really easily. Let me go ahead and choose a better background example.
Mark, there's there's a couple of questions there.
Yep.
Kathy,
so let me go through these. Okay, so does it do videos and reels? So Shiva, yes, it does. How would you use this as a team? Well, number one, we do offer team plans. So there's a couple things. Once again, you can get multiple licenses. So you can actually have it done in-house. So if you have one admin, let's say you have 10 agents, we can give control to the one admin who can manage all of your agents from this one dashboard, which is amazing. So as you can imagine, click generate, and now you've got all these calendars that are being filled out with one click based on your individual agents. So that's fantastic. And then we also do a done for you version where what we'll do is we'll actually do that for you. So you just pay for the licenses and we'll do it for all your teams. It's an amazing value add. I think a lot of agents are looking for a team or a brokerage that's going to provide them with tech support, specifically AI support, specifically social media support. So this kind of hits a lot of that. So that's one thing. Okay, so real quick, how would you use this? Okay, can we choose the image? So that we just did that. Does it do videos and reels? We just did that. Okay. How does it tweak for stories? So one thing to understand, we push updates every single week. So we are like active builders. Like this is like us building this. So we take all the feedback. So a lot of the feedback that we've been getting right now is around editing. It's been around more automation. However, in the next 45 days, we will have it where we can also share to your stories. So right now it's not doing stories, but just the reason I'm just giving this is like, you'd be very impressed at how quickly you get new features out. And that's one of them. So will it use and adapt my image? So if you mean yourself, we kind of just chatted about that, put more of the bio in there. And by the way, of course, if you do this with us, we do full-on onboarding calls where we'll literally sit with you and build out your profile to make sure it's accurate. So that's just one thing to kind of consider. But if you're talking about if it'll upload your individual image, I can show you that in a second. You probably covered this, but this is scalable, right? I would like infinitely. I mean, like when it comes to being able to use this, it's the best at scale. You've got a big team, and you want to offer all of them social media support. This is the best way that you're going to do that. And once again, it's just kind of the value of AI. Is there a way to integrate this with your own photos? Yes, absolutely. So Callie, let me go ahead and show you the next thing. So let's go here. Let's go ahead and let's look at November. So here's what I like to do. So let's say for November, I want to come up with a different topic. You know, here's one thing to consider. You know, let's just go ahead and do something like, what's another topic? Give me a topic. So let's I don't like these. Let's generate some more. So I'll click these. I'll click generate some more. They're actually all great. I just want to kind of show you guys. You can just kind of generate your new topics. Okay, so a guide to understanding the home buying process for retirees. Okay, cool. The best neighborhoods. Oh, important home features retirees should consider to ensure safety and comfort. I like that. So let's go ahead and do generate. Let's say I'm going to do an entire month. I want to do all of my Mondays, and I want to do Instagram with all of my Mondays. Okay, fantastic. So I'll turn off randomized backgrounds. Essentially, that's going to give me the same background for everyone. Then I'll go in there and tweak it. So Callie, there's a point to this. I'll kind of give it to you in 1 second. So let's just give this a moment to generate. But yes, you can actually upload. So let's say this is why it's a perfect example of why it doesn't matter where you are on that social media spectrum. You can use this and do all of your own AI generated content, or you can just use it as a scheduler. If you're doing like a post a week, or you're doing your own stuff and you've already got, you know, a good flow, maybe you're doing a reel a week or something, you can just come in here, click more options, and actually upload your own content. So let me go ahead here. Oops. Show it to you. Okay, where'd it go? Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, so where'd I go here? What's going on? So you can go here. Let me show this to you. Let me give it a quick refresh. Perfect. Oh, where'd that go? Get this generation going again. Monday. Oops.
While you're doing that, I see a click for blog. Is that, can you send that over to the blog on your website, or is that a service that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So this will do all of your, so once again, it'll do, let me go back to November here. So once again, it'll do your blogs as well. So that's kind of what I was mentioning before. So let me go ahead and pull this.
So I've got a WordPress website. Will that automatically post over on my website?
It won't automatically post it over. You'd have to do something similar to ChatGPT, where essentially what you do is you go in and, okay, so now I'm all over the place here. Let me just give me 2 seconds.
Sorry.
Okay, so let me grab this, let's do a blog, and I'll show you kind of how you're doing the other stuff. So give this 2 seconds. I'll show you a blog. And then I'll go back to the November stuff. But so on the first point, you can upload all of your own content. So if you've already got your own reels, once again, the best way to look at it is, let's say you're doing, you know, you're kind of like a 3 or a 4 on that social media scale. You're posting once a week. You're doing your own video. Keep doing that. That's not supposed to replace that. You shouldn't look to replace what you're already doing. This is going to augment it. So you can just go in here and upload all of your existing reels, and it'll automatically post. But the nice thing is, you can get it to automatically post across all of your platforms, not just Instagram. So instead of having to like upload it to Instagram and then leave and then go and upload it to LinkedIn and then leave and then go upload it to Twitter, you can do all of that here from one spot. So that's like another really nice thing about it. So we'll give it another second. Blogs obviously take a little while longer for obvious reasons. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So you've got your blog. So literally now you've got a full-on blog on the topic. Is your home retirement ready? Simple, safe, and comfy. You've got a full blog here. You can edit it however you want. All you would do is go copy. So literally copy and then bring it over to your WordPress site. So it makes it really easy. I always joke about this. I get kind of like super excited about it because I always joke in the sense that, to me, the blog is the most powerful tool. This is how it all started. We got into this because we created a blogging tool for real estate agents and nobody cared. Which is crazy because that's actually like the most valuable part of all this. So technically, just to be clear, you can come in here. And so let's do this. So let's do Instagram. So let me go grab the Tuesdays.
So on that note, one of the things I found, my blogs that get the most traffic are like talking about my favorite restaurant in the area or my favorite art gallery in the area. So can we aggregate from like, you know, like regional media advertisers and stuff? Like, can we, the point being is I don't always want to be talking about real estate on my real estate blog or these posts.
Yeah, so it won't pull in blogs from other publications. Ironically, I do have a tool that we've built through the lab that does exactly that. It's called Blog Hero. It's completely unrelated, but it's literally exactly what you're looking for.
Well, no, actually, I'm not looking at that. Just that I want some of my posts, for instance, to talk about local restaurants and whatnot, because what I'm finding is people see that and they're like, oh, the guy knows the area. And I've even had people call me saying, hey, we're coming up for the weekend. saw that you posted about this restaurant. I can't get a reservation, or can you recommend something else? And that allows me to like create the relationship and get them in my database. So I'm wondering, like, I don't want to just post about houses, is my point, aside from blogs.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, you wouldn't even need to aggregate blogs for that. You would just go ahead in the theme and be like, hey, can you give me specific examples of, what the nicest, or the top rated coffee shops were from wherever.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you can do that. Okay. So once again, just quickly here. So I was just kind of giving you guys an example, but you go and generate your stuff. You don't have to do just Instagram. So this is why it's so powerful. And once again, like, it's just on you to just kind of use the features, but like, why do it just for Instagram when you can do it for Instagram and Facebook? A lot of people like to, they'll do Instagram and then just do the auto share to Facebook. And that's fine, but you're much better off actually having a unique post go out on Facebook. So they're two separate posts. And this does not just duplicate the post. They're actually rewritten in different ways for each platform. So Instagram, has a different writing style than Facebook. So same topic so that you're consistent, but it's actually going to give you two different posts that go out. So in terms of, can the branding and aesthetic be done? Absolutely. So when you come into colors, you can come in here and do your full on custom colors. So if you have the individual hex codes, they're called, for Sotheby's, you can put them in here. Perfect.
We're all, Mark, in this situation, we're all Sotheby's. So put them in and let's go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So like what are the colors? Like, do you have them off the top by any chance? I know that Irma has them. I just don't have it right in front of me.
I do. What do you want? The CMKY? Hex code, RGB, what do you want?
Yeah, let's do hex codes.
Okay, the hex codes for the blue, which is our primary, is 002349.
Okay.
Our hex color is all sixes, so 666, 666. Our accent gray is all nines, 999, 999. We use a true black, which is all zeros. And our accent gold color is C29840.
Okay, so let me just go. So I missed that. So C29
9840. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And we got text. We got a true black in there too. So you got primary, secondary, and the bottom one would be all zeros.
Yeah. So the way I would just give you a quick heads up on this is just play with it, right? So like come in here and put the different texts in the different areas. Like as an example, I think I would prefer, like if I go here, give me 2 seconds. Okay. So let's say you imagine this, right? I'd probably just move them around a little bit, like figure out, does this look better in that way? But you can see what I'm saying when it's like, come in here and put your custom colors. And like, for an example, I would rather see this up here. So you don't get locked yourself into it. You can play around with however you want, putting your codes and your colors in. Like even just as an example, like this.
That would be better white. Yeah.
It looks better like that. Right. So you can do all that. Absolutely. And then you can save them. And then you have your contact info too. So look, okay, contrarian belief, don't want to offend anybody, but you don't need to put your headshots and your contact info in all the posts. So you are totally okay. People see it on your social media. They're there. It's fine. I would recommend not putting them on, but I know that you guys love it. So you can actually come in here, upload your own headshot. You can come in here, put your website. You can do all that stuff. So just so you know, all the features are built in there for you to just off to the races with it and you're good to go. So that's another example. You can change the text, obviously. So maybe you're like, I don't like this emoji. It's stupid. Let me just get rid of it. And you're good to go. So I'll exit this real quick because I do just want to show you a quick other thing. So once again, when I was talking about putting your own content in, anybody here who is trying to figure out social media and anybody here who is sort of like, hey, listen, I really want to augment what I'm already doing. I'm posting once a week already. Please keep doing that. You have to have the human element. Social media has absolutely changed from quality to quantity. Okay. I promise you that. We went from a space probably only 3 years ago where it was all about, you don't actually have to post that much. Just make sure it's banger posts. That is very true. And you can do that. However, quality comes from quantity. You have to post a lot to find the bangers. And now with AI, there's so much content going out there that you have to post every single day. So the way I like to look at it is like the best way to do your strategy is figure out how many times you want to post a week And like do once a week your own post. Do once a week. Do one thing once a week. But instead of taking, let's say, an hour and getting one post a week, by using AI, you can spend the same hour, get your same post, but now have 7 posts a week going out because you're using AI to do your other days. That's an amazing way to look at it. And then you can build on that, right? So remember when we were talking about, let me just go here real quick. Let me just go and grab. Remember when we were talking about like this idea of being a 1 to a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or a 7? Well, you'll automatically become a 5 overnight by using this because now you'll be able to post every single day. You have posts going out. But let's say you want to go and be a 6. Well, no problem. You make the commitment to start doing your own content twice a week. You just come in here, you schedule it, and now you're doing 5 days of AI stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But finally, once again, as you can see here, you can upload all of your stuff. It's good to go. And you're off to the races. So if you've got your own posts already, just go ahead and upload them that way. And finally, once again, we love to use AI. We've just recently branched into, hold on, there's a phone app version. You got to do it from your computer. We're not going to do a mobile app. It's still, our job is that you are not going to use this as much as possible. That's the idea. So this is counterintuitive. We don't want to see you on this platform more than like once or twice a month. The whole idea is you come on, in 15 minutes, you've done all of your content for the month, and you're gone. That's it. You don't, the whole goal, if you're coming back here a lot, then it's not doing a good enough job for you. AI, you actually don't want to be using it a lot. If it's working for you, you don't have to revisit it. Agents love to pick things up and put them down. This is not an extra tool to add to your tool belt, another thing you got to manage all the time. This is here. You spend 15 minutes once a month, get all your stuff laid out, and then it's on autopilot for you. You only come in here when you want to make changes. So to your point, we don't have a phone app and we're not going to do that just because we don't want people doing this on the go. The point is not to be like on the go and have this be a headache that you have to think about. So one last thing.
One quick question. So I go out, I get a new listing. What do I do with it? How do I get it on there?
We have a very beautiful mind sync here. It's exactly where I was going to go.
Sorry.
So a big thing that people have been talking about a lot is, hey, I want to post my listings. So all you would do is you've got all your stuff here. Let's say on the 13th, I want this post to go out on the 13th. Okay. Let's just use any example. You can choose any day. So we actually did it where you can come in here and we wanted to allow you to upload your listings as easily as possible. Cause that's the biggest thing. Like if it's a headache, you don't want to do it. It's no good. So instead of coming in here, you can upload all of your images. You can write your listing description. You can do all that, or you can just take the URL from your listing. So I just literally grabbed this off realtor.ca. So if you have your own listing that's online on Zillow or Realtor or wherever, you can literally just come in here and copy it, go create post. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through your listing and it's going to pull in all of the information right from here. You don't have to leave. You don't have to go anywhere. It's pulling in your images. It's pulling in pricing, all the details, your listing description, all of that stuff. And then what you get to do is you can actually go through and verify to make sure everything's accurate. So you can check the images and be like, okay, yep, these are the images that I want. You can tweak the address, the price, whatever you want to do. You can actually use AI to improve your listing description, which is always kind of a nice thing to look at as well. But once again, you didn't have to upload anything. This did it all for you just by copying in your URL. And then what you'll do is once you verify that everything is the way you want it to be, you'll actually go ahead and just click create post, and it'll actually turn it into a social media post for you. So once again, to be clear, it's not just copying your listing description. It's not just like this cheap sort of, oh, like just transplant it. No, it's actually it's taking your listing description and rewriting it as a social media post. So the prompt that we created to do that is pretty sophisticated, just in the sense that like it's standard. So like you will get consistency almost every time. So once again, here are the images from the listing. So like, here's the listing, all the information. It's pulled all of that in. So now you can choose what photos you like the most. So like, I want this photo, I want this photo, I want this photo, and I want this photo. Okay, great. Here's the pricing. Everything's good. Let's say, once again, you've got the listing description here that was from the website. However, you can enhance it if you want to, but let's just like, for time's sake, let's just forget that. Then all you would do is go create post. And literally like in seconds, it's now taken those images, it's put them into a carousel format, and it's given you a listing description. And you'll always at the bottom have this standardized thing. It's got a hook for you. What's your favorite thing about this home? Comment below. And then you just choose what day you want it to go out on. So I think we said the 16th. Cool. We're good. And that's that. So
Can I ask you?
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Christian has a great question there. And one of the ones that I wanted to ask you as well.
Let me ask just one thing about that post. That just did an Instagram post. Is that because you only selected Instagram? Got it. Okay.
So if I wanted to, I can come in here and choose which platforms I want to put them out on. And, you know, even to take it one step further, we made them very pretty too. So now you know that your post is different because you got the blurred color over here. So yes, you can choose whichever posts you want it. So in terms of stats, excuse me, we're very excited to get into that. We haven't done it yet. We've been alive for 8 months. So we've been like coding every single day. We have a huge overhaul to the editor coming out, which is going to essentially resemble Canva. So to make it really strong for you guys. However, yes, dashboarding and analytics is huge on our roadmap. What we would like to do is a couple things. Number one, give you obviously views and stats on what's going on. Look, posting time doesn't matter anymore. Okay, just to give you guys a quick little FYI on that. Posting time doesn't matter because when the algorithm switched from being focused on your social graph, AKA your algorithm distribution of your content is based on who you follow and who follows you. When TikTok came out, everybody switched over to an interest-based graph, which is essentially, even if you don't follow this person or they're not part of your circle, you could still see the content show up because the focus became landing on the explore page. That's why some of the most popular posts that you see were posted like a few days ago. It's because it doesn't matter what time you really post anymore. Like, listen, like if you're at the margin and you're an influencer and like you are posting 3 posts a day and you're like drilling it, yeah, maybe you get a 1% improvement based on time of day, but I wouldn't stress too much about that. But long story short, we are looking to give you that guidance and we are looking to give you some more data. Another note, you have access to us. You know, Richard works with us and I'm hoping to think you've been happy with it so far, but we're here to help you. Like we want to guide you through all this. So we're not just kind of like saddling you with this, even though you could literally just give this to yourself, an admin, a VA, and you're good to go. We'll work through this with you. Okay, how do you get in touch? So Emily, real quick, let me just give this to you. So let me go ahead just 2 seconds right off the bat. And Richard, I'll send this to you so you have it.
Sure.
But we're giving you guys $100 off. So our annual plan is $699. Okay. If you get monthly, it's $99 a month. Okay. That's $1,200 a year. If you buy annually, for obvious reasons, we give you a discount. So it's $699. We're giving you an additional $100 off that today. So if you guys want, you can screen code this. The code is Pride100. And I just gave you the link. Once again, one second here. Let me just try to redo that. So I'll send it to you right here, just so you guys have it. And then, everyone, where is that? Let's see. How come I can't message? Send chat to.
Or you want to put it in the,
yeah, it's stuck on I can't meeting group, send chat to. It's stuck on individuals. I can't send it off. Here, Richard, I'll send this to you. Oh, it's AI note taker, and then you guys can have that. It's unfortunate. Okay, Richard. So meeting group chat. I got it. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Boom. So if you go there, all you're gonna see is this. It's pretty straightforward. So if you guys want, oops, because I'm logged in. Let me just log out real quick. Okay, so
this is awesome. I have to jump, but I'm definitely going to call you. Just for anybody else on the call, I've spent thousands of dollars a month on having somebody do this for me, and it never felt like, it always just felt generic. And so I've always fired them just because I'm like, I need it to sound like me and be more like me. I'm super excited about this. So thank you, Richard and Pride and everybody, and thank you, Mark. I'll be in touch, but I gotta run.
Awesome.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, Emily.
The great thing about this is we still are spending, and we're going to cut back on a lot of our spends because this takes place of a couple of the things that we were doing, and at the end of the day, our costs were. I mean, I love AI, I love what it can do, but AI has got to be. It's got to make me more professional, and it's got to save me time, and it's got to save me money. And this is the product that seems to be doing it right now. So I was so impressed with this that I wanted you all to see it.
Thank you very much for organizing. This was so interesting.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of good stuff in there. Anybody else have any questions? And seriously, open your mics and just ask the question of.
Yeah, Richard, actually, how long have you been using this in conjunction?
It's only been 2 weeks. I found out about it 2 weeks ago, and I just was, or maybe 3 weeks ago. And Mark, if you want, you can show them. I think you have my real estate content up there. You have my stuff up there. You can have my background there, up top, right at the top there. Richard.
Oh
No,
no, this is the presentation, but what I will do
Oh,
is
okay.
I'll go here real quick and go to
Mark, just while you're doing that, since in the past any reels I've created, which I do like to do, I just do them on my phone, like in Instagram. What do you like as the best reel creation format or like app
Yep.
or something?
So listen, let's talk. This is important. Okay, so this is important to talk about where you are on the social media scale. So if you're down to be an influencer, let's say you want to put the work in, I'm not suggesting that, but let's just say that, then the best reels you can do as an agent are here's what $5,000 gets you in Houston. Here's what $6,000 gets you in Vancouver. Here's what $3,000 gets you. And it's then a video kind of walkthrough of a home. And then you highlight the individual features. That is by far what's going to work best as a real estate agent on social media. The thing is, it is not realistic as part of a social media strategy if you don't commit to doing that every time. So if you're not someone who's down to every single time you get a listing, go out there, take the video, then you can't put it as part of your strategy because you can't stick with it. Now, the strategy that I really do like quite a bit is the aesthetic B-roll reels. So essentially, it's a very basic, very short clip that loops. So let me see if I can find one here for you. So these are all people, by the way, that are posting using realestatecontent.ai. There's one from Richard. Okay, here's a perfect example. So these are the easiest to do. They will not perform as well as, once again, a very sexy visual walkthrough of a home. However, these absolutely are fantastic. So it's essentially a very short kind of like looped clip. And what you're looking to focus on is a very good hook. And the idea is that if the hook is strong enough and they gets them to read the caption, then as they're reading the caption, the video is replaying in the background. It's looping. So it's signaling to the algorithm, oh my God, people are watching this. It's exciting. And the thing I like about these types of posts is anybody can do them. You can do them yourself if you wanted to. Literally just take a photo of and a video of you opening a door. It could be anything. That's why I call them aesthetic B-rolls. It could be anything, but then just quickly overlay that with some text that says, I wish I knew this before I started my real estate team, or I wish I knew this before the one mistake I made during this open house. Read caption for more details. Those are good. Like, you're on trend. Of course, realestatecontent.ai can do all that for you as well. If you're going to do it yourself, those are the reels that I would look to focus on. That is the easiest type to do. So once again, that's why I kind of went back here to you got to figure out where you're landing. To me, a good social media strategy is a sustainable one. If you're going to make one type of reel once in the month, it's not going to do shit for you. It will not, it's just not even going to be a thing. Whatever type of content you're going to post, you've got to imagine being able to do it week after week after week after week. Social media is a long game. It's not a one and done thing. It's not something that you can just, let me try really hard for 2 weeks and then stay off for 3 weeks. It's like, you got to start. So I would rather see people start small, start with a baseline, start with something you can actually just sustain over the course of a year, and then build on it from there. And that's why, once again, I think AI is, and I'm not just saying this because we build AI products, AI is amazing for this because, like Emily was saying, to get a post to go out every single day, that used to cost a few $100. That used to be $500. And I'm being generous here. It's probably closer to 1,000 to get a post to go out every day. And they're generic posts. They're not great stuff. Now, a post going out every day, you're not supposed to have great stuff every day, but come on, you should get at least what you're paying for. Now you can do that with AI for $99 a month. Boom, you're done. You've got your basic posts going out daily. If you want to get better, now it's just add your own reel once a week if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's kind of an idea, a way to look at it.
Mark, I don't want anybody to take this in the wrong way, but you can show them my back end if you want.
Perfect. All right. Is that a Google search or is that what is that? Okay. So let me pull it up here.
Well, it would be under Silver Burtnick. Yeah. There. But also you can see the back end posting and stuff like that.
Yeah, here, give me 2 seconds here and let me stop this.
Schedule.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick little example of what Richard's looks like. So let's go here.
Richard and Jim. Wave, Jim.
Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, I feel like the first time we're finally getting connected there. Okay, let's go here. Let me pull this up. Sure.
Yeah, because you can see the schedule and how it's been laid out over the next couple of months. And I'm, you know, what's good is it's just happening. It's working for me.
So this is an example here, everybody. So this is an example of how the schedule has been set up. And once again, you can kind of see everything that's been posted already. And then all of the stuff that is ready to get posted, all done. Like it's just, it's all taken care of. And the beautiful thing, someone had asked before, like, what's the difference between this and like content curator? I forgot what it was, but here's the biggest thing I just want to tell everybody. What we've seen that's out there, the reason we got into the space is just because there's a genuine need for a full rounded experience. I think for the past like 3 to 4 years, the content banks have been king. Like the content bank is you pay 50 to 100 to 200 bucks a month and you get access to like all of these pre-made templates. And that's been fine. But then the complaint is all my stuff sounds the same. Everyone's got the same images. Everyone's got the same copy. Everyone's got the same everything. And if you did want to change it, what do you got to do? Download it, open Canva, upload it, change the text, export it, save it to your phone, go into Instagram. Like I'm not being dramatic. That's like literally what you have to do. Here, what's happening is you're not only doing it all within the system, it's all within here. All of your text is unique to you. It's already done. Like it's all stuff to you. You're not going to have other people that have the same stuff. And then if you wanted to come in here, you can already go in and edit it however you'd like to. But then in addition to that, it automatically posts to your social, like you're good and done to go. So for us, we get excited because like this is like the evolution of technology. If the content banks have been king for however long, this is a 10x improvement on that at a comparable price. So that's kind of been it. But this is a good example of kind of seeing how Richard does it. The thing I love about these guys the most is that once again, they're, you know, using the blogs. Like the blogs are amazing. And just to show you guys, like you could literally have a blog going out every single day. And to be clear, I think the going rate for a decent blogging service was like you get 3 blogs a month at like $500 or something like that. It was something crazy. Essentially, yeah.
Mark, Richard, actually, this is a joint question. As Richard knows, Mark, we have Gateway, which is our back end, and our marketing department creates a lot of social media assets for us, including the monthly statistics, and it's all done and formatted. Is there an automated process for this, Richard, you figured out yet, or is it a case of into Gateway, download it, upload it, schedule it?
That's probably the best way of doing it.
Ugh.
I haven't really done it. I've tried as much as possible just to not basically. I mean, part of the problem. I mean, I love Sotheby's. Okay, guys, but I can't tell you the number of times, and I'm sure you're all in the same situation where you get an email from somebody, and then you get the exact same email from somebody else in the office, and another email from somebody else in the office, and they're all the same. So I try as much as possible just to be different. And so a lot of those, you know, the newsletter that comes out, I see it from 5 or 6 different people, especially from one Sotheby's or whoever. So I'm trying to be a little bit different. And
I still like to pepper it though.
Yeah. I mean, but you can do it. You can add that as well.
Mark, I have a question for you. This is Elisa Urabi over in Berkeley. And this is all really super, super cool. So thank you for putting all the time in the back end to get this going and for sharing this with us. Thank you, Richard. I'm looking at Richard's back end right now to see like where, you know, how many views he's getting. And obviously anytime he shows his face, then everybody just, you know, reacts so much bigger than just the posts that are generated from AI, but you do have to have some sort of fill-in. And I remember going to a seminar where they said that you actually don't want to post every day because it doesn't give the algorithms enough time to actually season, I guess. And as I'm looking at in the beginning, when he started using this, it seems like he was getting about 100 or 200 people viewing it. And now it seems to have dropped a little bit. So now it's like 30 people or 40 people. And then if he posts something about, you know, where his face is there or some event that he did, of course, it goes up. So I know you said earlier, you know, it's better to just post every day, but is there a little bit of a sweet spot here?
I'm telling you straight up, like the fact of over posting is not a thing at all. If this was like an old school or like a while ago, that's not like a thing. The one thing I will say to your point, once again, what's the overall strategy? So if you get one post a week that gets 100, or you get 5 posts a week that get 40. At the end of the week, what got more impressions? So that's a better way to be looking at it. Right now, I find so many people are getting really caught up on like one post blowing up. What you guys, especially focusing on that social presence category, are looking for is your aggregate views over the course of, let's say, a week. So the idea that the algorithm needs time to like ramp up is just not true. So just to give you guys an idea, just for myself personally, so like we've worked on my own personal stuff, on just like what are the proper numbers, and you can get up to 3 posts per day without having any quality be affected. Once you start going past that, you start getting into situations where, yes, your profile is not sort of in that realm where Instagram and all these different ones realize that you're not spamming. But once again, for the sake of us discussing here as real estate agents, a few thousand followers, posting once a day, like that is like the minimum that you want to be posting on. When you start getting into multiple posts per day, that's where things change a little bit, but I can't stress it enough. Like that is, and I'm happy to try to find some like even just like more professional documentation to send it to you, so you're not just like listening to me say it. But like,
oh no, that's fine.
Such a
That's fine.
misconception that
Richard,
we
have
hear.
Richard, question for you. Have you noticed any, since you've been doing this for a little bit, I know it hasn't been too long, but have you noticed any other followers or anybody actually picking up the phone wanting to you know, meet you that you've never met before?
I actually had a couple of calls from people I thought the only way they could have found that is through this program. So it's been good. But you know what I like about it, there are certain things that are very some of the posts become very specific, which is great. I mean, like if it's about downsizers, and so if I'm not getting 100 people, I'm only getting 30, as long as they're going to call me, you know, about stuff that I've posted. That's really important.
Right. And the amount of time it would take to put all this content together is just crazy.
Huge. Huge.
And the visuals look great.
I mean, Jim and I have a meeting with our social media people once a month, and we talk to them about what we want out there, and we're the ones who are always giving them the suggestions. And you know, and I know that they won't use AI because they want us to pay for their writers to do it. So this is, I mean, as much as I would love to keep on paying all this money out, you know, at some point you got to say it's a wonderful business to be in, but our expenses since internet are huge, you know, so we got to get back, you know, got to cut back on some of these. And this is a wonderful way of doing it and still getting information out there.
I like how you could take the listings too, and then just put it in there. And the scheduling, I schedule my post already, and I use Later, so that this is kind of packaged in. I don't know if that's what you're using on the back end or not, but it's the same process or system, right?
Yeah, I look at it and I think, hey, this is giving me Canva, you know, AI, and, you know, putting it all together with, you know, very, very local information. So
yeah,
it's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, it literally that's exactly kind of where all this started, was like, you can imagine this is like Chat GPT mixed with Canva, mixed with Later. So it does all that. We do in fact have people that use this, and they're doing, you know, literally 6 reels a week on their own. So they're uploading their own stuff, but they use it just because they can schedule it across all their platforms. And then they just do it for blogs on the weekend because they want blogs. So like they schedule everything, and it's like, okay, cool. It's still just easier than me going in and uploading to Instagram every single time. So look, I can't stress this enough. And this is kind of like off, regardless of what you guys decide to do. Once again, my focus is on the AI side of things. So I work with our developers to actually build out this product. My business partner, Kyle's like the social media guru, kind of just deep on all this. But what I want to give you like AI advice is that like, there is no silver bullet product, just to be clear. There is no product out there that is going to solve all of your problems. And the ones that do are priced accordingly. If you guys want posts that will go viral every single day, that's no problem. But it's going to cost about $7,000 a month. That's just what it is. You'll need to shoot your own footage standing in front of your stuff. You need video editors. You need all that stuff. So it's very doable. But where we come in, we're trying to be realistic. We saw the market. We saw what's going on with real estate agents. The ones that are the 6 to 7s are already killing it. Do your thing. We don't necessarily want to focus there. But there are way too many 1s to 4s that are getting left behind. And to be honest, it's just, you see these kids that come out of nowhere that like have no real estate experience, but they're just like posting every day. And I hear it all the time. I'm losing leads to these people. So we're like, look, for $99, this isn't supposed to make you go viral. That's not what the point is. It's supposed to be a product that gives you a lot of value at a really, really good price. And the whole goal here is to get you to a 5 overnight for the price of a coffee every day. You know, for 1/5 the cost of a social media manager who will do the same type of content, but 3 times a week. You know, that's kind of where this is. And we think a lot about, okay, how do we make sure though, that if somebody does become a 5 and they want to start building from there, you're like, oh, $99 is no problem. Let's do it. But I want to do more. We do want to build features that help those individuals bounce off. And the perfect way to look at it is start putting your own content in there as well. So it's just one of those things, like what you can kill it on social media. There's 2 variables: time, money. If you don't want to spend a lot of time, you better spend a lot of money. You don't want to spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time. I just want to use AI to cut that down the middle and be like, actually, there's a way to get both. So we've got that deal out for you guys. I'll put, I think it's already in there. I'll put it in there again, just to make sure, but you'll get the $100 off. It's good for today. You know, I'm super appreciative, Richard, for you having me come out. It's been amazing working with you. And once again, I'm not from the real estate space, but you guys have been amazing, just like dealing with agents all the time. I truly, like, I'm a founder. I'm a startup guy. I see so much of the same between real estate agents and that. And I think we're just kind of excited to be in the space coming from a startup approach, because we just want to kind of keep making the product better. So I'm 100% available for all of you. If you guys are with our product, you know, my business partner, Kyle, as well, we'll literally do your onboarding with you. We'll get you set up properly, and just try to get you getting the most out of this. So
what's amazing about Mark, you guys, that you guys don't know, is he runs like 100 miles a week or something like this. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
It's as startup people, we're a little bit obsessive compulsive, I suppose. So
This, Richard, you mentioned at the meeting this morning, and thank you again, Mark. This is really just very informative, brilliant idea. Well done. And my partner couldn't be here today, and she's a new grandma this morning.
Oh, great. Wow.
So yeah, I know. Jane had a grandbaby. Are you going to film this, or are you taping this, Richard?
I am going to, we've recorded it. And
okay, recorded
on our social media. We have a YouTube channel called Silver Burtnick and Associates. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, Silver Burtnick and Associates. I'll have it up as soon as I can. And then, just so you know, and Lisa or somebody else who was asking, oh, maybe it was Callie. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to take the recording and I'm going to take it over to Opus Clips and have Opus Clips make clips of it, reels, which I'll also be using in the, you know, I'll send them to Mark and Irma and say, okay, take these reels of this event and post them on our social media as well. So hopefully you'll be able to see a fair amount of it and you'll all be stars.
Well, yeah, so I guess probably should have brought this up as well. So once again, you guys are essentially getting, like, if you guys do the annual plan, you're getting it for like under $50 a month. Like, if you think about that, like, I always like to say that, you know, never make crazy promises, but I absolutely 100% promise you over the course of a year, this will pay for itself. There's no questions asked. We do also offer a service, a done for you service. So that's what we're doing with Richard. So if you guys like this, but you're even like, oh, I just don't want to deal with the calendar, we can do that for you. There's obviously an additional cost with it, but you will get that service where it's like, hey, listen, we'll actually go in and manage the entire calendar for you and it's taken care of and you're good to go. So once again, I would say, go ahead. I like to think, you know, an incredibly good use of your money and time. You'll have access to myself, Kyle, and the team. If you guys get it and you're like, you know what, this is good, but I just do it for me, no problem, reach out and we'll do it. So the cost, real quick, like I said, the regular service. So if you were to sign up, it's $99 USD per month. So which is about $1,200 a year. However, if you pay for it annually, so just pay the one-time annual payment, it's $699. So it's about half off if you buy annually. I've given you guys an extra $100 off today if you guys were to sign up, because obviously Richard has been amazing and want to give you guys a little bit of an incentive to kind of do this.
I paid the $699.
You guys even get a better deal.
I still listen.
Come on, Richard, you ought to be working out a referral from here forward.
Yeah.
There's a cost to being an early adopter, Richard.
Yeah. Listen, I offer
you know, it's funny we say
so sexual favors, but nobody takes me up on it. you know.
We'll make
Can
sure
you-
to make your AI sound a little bit more like you. I got some tweaks I want to put in there to make sure everyone knows.
Mark,
So
Mark,
yeah, so you've got all that. You get full access to myself and the team, and good to go. So whatever you guys need, like, we're here for you. And so yeah, I guess if that answers the cost, Brian, you're good to go. The cost, sorry. Oh, I guess if you're looking at the cost for the done for you, so it's $299. So essentially, you guys would sign up. You sign up for the annual package. That's where you get the sale, so you have access to the service. If you want it done for you, it's $299 a month, and we handle all of the stuff for you. So we're happy to chat about that. I always look. We're not. There's no annual cost on the. There's no contract, no annual cost on the done for you. So literally, you have the service. If you want the done for you, it's an additional monthly charge. We don't lock you in. You're good to go whenever you want. You can always just bounce back down to doing it yourself, but that's where it's in there for you. So.
Sorry, just to be clear, you're saying it's $299 a month additional cost?
Yeah.
For the done for you? Okay.
Yep. I always tell people, I'm like, listen, if you got it, by all means, we'll happily manage it for you. Our goal is to make this so simple that you can do it yourself anyway. So we're not like, we don't even push upsells. Like it's not even an upsell. I'd actually just be like, hey, use the tool as is. You can use it. I can train you on it. You're good to go. But we're here for you for the ones that are like, look, my time, what's your time worth? You make more than $100 an hour. I don't even want to spend 3 hours looking at this. Do it for me. That's what we're here for. We just wanted to offer the solution.
One more question. Can we, if I was to aggregate all of my personal blogs into a PDF, can I upload that and ask it to create content from there?
Todd, you are all about this aggregation of blogs.
Well,
we'll talk offline
about
about that specific thing. This won't do that. So you won't be able to upload kind of your own content, but we'll chat. I've got some stuff that might be helpful and useful.
Okay. Listen,
so guys,
thanks
you
very much. And
Thanks, Richard.
Johnny, listen, we all need to give Johnny prayers. Johnny's here and he's in Sarasota and they've been dealing with a lot of shit the past week.
Oh, our thoughts are with you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Thank
Keeping
you.
a good thought for you, John.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Johnny and I met in Nashville. I don't know if you met Johnny in Nashville. He's a great guy. He's new to the brand and
welcome.
so,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It was a fun time in Nashville, that's for sure.
It was a great time. It was a great time.
Great.
For sure.
Okay, so everybody,
Thanks
thanks
again,
very
Richard.
much.
And
Pleasure.
Mark.
And we'll
Thanks,
see you
Mark.
next month. We'll do another one. Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Have a great day,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Bye.